Hello everybody, today I'm here with Disney Mirrorverse, and as the game once stated, we are never going to be resetting your progress ever again. So in light of that, they have reset our progress. So we're going to be starting from the beginning of the story mode here in Chapter 1. I currently am able to be, I'm able to get Mike and Frank from these. It is possible. I don't think it's all that likely. Also, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going to happen when I open it. Okay, whatever. So I think I'm just going to try and open like all of them. Of course, unless I just get both of them, but I really doubt that. Actually, we probably would stop if we were to get either of them. Also, Minnie and I guess by proxy a bunch of other characters are a lot easier to get now, so maybe I will be getting some of them in the future as well. Mickey and... oh, which one is it? Aha! Mike, just 1 star, but still. Of course we're going to claim him. And of course we got him before we got Frank, after all that work. Yeah, all 1 stars, sadly, but let's confirm and get out of here. So Mike is going to be the showcase for today, which works out well since we are starting from the beginning. It doesn't really matter what level he's at, he'll probably be great. I don't know, they have changed a lot of ways in which characters are upgraded, specifically in the terms, well, I guess ranking is different as well, as you can see, but the talents are really where it's changed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to level or rank him up after that. Yeah, I guess not. Oh, wait, what? Well, I can't... he needs to be 3-star? You gotta be kidding. How do I get more? Well, I guess I have to... yeah. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, whatever. So... leveling these up is... well, I thought it was supposed to be different, but it looks pretty similar as of now. So I don't know. We're going to just equip these first 2 here. Can't get that next one until we rank him up again. Start leveling up this one too. I am genuinely just excited for the new characters, but I'm not excited for them to be resetting our progress again. I suppose what they were doing with the story mode was not what they wanted, but I don't think it's necessary to kick everyone out. So I do need to, in order to play events, I apparently have to beat level or story mode chapter 2, level 2. So I might try to do another video here really quickly, and then obviously I would spread them out a little bit. But as I'm recording this, I might right after this be recording another. I am upgrading this way more than I should. What am I doing? I was just like clicking until... so yeah, that is clearly different. It's much easier to level those up, it would seem like. So do I have anything? I guess I have some stuff. Okay. So let's go into the chapter here and see if anything... so it's the same layout as I figured. Same amount of stages and everything. I wonder if the story is the same. I guess I'll read it out for now, but I would imagine it's the same. The Sulley Mirror is safe for now, but there's more of this dangerous magic near this ugly duckling. I won't let my home fall to the forces of whatever these are the forces of. Can you use the Sulley Mirror to get us to the forest edge, Mickey? Yes, I'll send you all to the shore and use the mirror to stay in touch, but be careful. Okay. So we can't even play as multiple characters yet. I do wonder if I can even make it through a level with... well, I suppose I would, right? Because this is the first level ever. I imagine it's not going to require anything too insane. And I've already gotten leveled up to level 20. His talents are higher than any of the other characters so far. Because I didn't realize that you could upgrade it like that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be going towards my favorite characters to be upgrading those first. And I believe this is a little different. I think there's actually an auto mode I can turn on. But for now, let's just do manually, I guess. So he is a range character. And his animations are very fun. I love his running animation in particular. So he kind of shoots out of his hands here. And he does have range as... Whoa. So he shoots out of his back cannon thing when he does that. And then I have a special ready too, I think. So we'll see that. These animations still take me out of the gameplay like crazy. I would assume they would have fixed that, but I guess not. Okay, so we lured him, which is interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I'm trying to get away. So yeah, there's the charged version of his basic attack. We can do this again. That's what it looks like regularly. It doesn't look like it did any damage actually. It looks like it just lured them. But we're going to be wrapping up here. They're hitting me pretty frequently, but like I'm not taking very much damage, so pretty good. Wow. This really is like a showcase of Mike Wazowski. Like, we're not going to see much of him working with other characters, I guess. But like, we're going to actually be playing as him only. That creature at the end looked like me. How is that possible? Flynn has said one Rapunzel is more than enough. The magic that's creating these monsters is being used to make copies of us. But what are they? Do they even have a name? Beats me. All we know is that when they are defeated, they fracture into pieces. Then fracture is what we'll call them. It is interesting that Mickey was just added now. It kind of feels like they've been waiting to do it. These fractured are digging up my forest. I'm sorry, did someone say digging, as in for buried treasure? Jack Sparrow, are you just wandering randomly around the shore? No, my ship is in the bay, 20 feet under the bay to be exact. Well, I doubt these fractured things are digging for buried treasure. As an expert on the topic, I shall be the judge of that. I'm fairly confident that the levels are all the same, except they change the difficulty and maybe like the enemies you fight would be different in that case. But I think they said that they changed the difficulty specifically in the final chapter. But it's interesting that, you know, the original game seemed like they were going to be adding story chapters for a really long time. And then when they did the reboot of sorts, and they're really significantly less story chapters. And I would hope that they would continue to just add stories, but it feels like they're kind of just capping themselves off at chapter 6, which is weird to me, but I suppose they're making it with that with the events and stuff. I don't know. But yeah, with leveling up your characters, I guess there really isn't anything more you can do after chapter 6. I don't know. There's really no point in me using the lure. They're not going to be going for anyone other than me. Oh, that is interesting. I don't typically want my ranged character to be attacked, so I don't know if maybe Mike is better in defense, and that's part of the reason why he would want to do that. So like I was... Oh, I'm going to get dialogue, so I might as well just wait. Now we can see what they were digging for. Star crystals? What would they want these for? I've got one on my ship I use as a doorstop. They're magical. Mickey uses them to travel between worlds and to summon guardians. Guardians, eh? That's a fancy team name. We're a very fancy team. Okay. Wish he'd summon me the new characters. So, I was saying, Mickey kind of feels like he's been ready, or like they've been prepping to add him for a while, and it honestly feels like maybe he should have been in the original version of the game, you know? But he's just been added now, along with Hades, who like we were able to fight like a few months ago, so it also feels like they probably had him about ready. And I guess they're just waiting for a good time to add them, I guess. And then it feels like Jack was meant to be around the Halloween season, which is interesting that these games are having such a late time adding their Halloween characters to their games. Disney Sorcerer's Arena actually had the events on time, although they didn't add any Halloween specific characters, I guess. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see when we play as Mickey. Mickey also coming out of that little portal there. But I guess the same happens with Oogie Boogie. Since he's also a character that can come out of a portal like that when you're playing. So I guess we already saw that. The lure doesn't actually make them like come towards me. I'm assuming it just makes them target me. So that's interesting to keep in mind too. I suppose if I ever brought in a weak character to showcase and I have Mike a bit more leveled up, then I could have him lure and then the other characters would be able to survive a bit longer or something. But I doubt I'll be able to level up Mike all that great. At least not for a while. Ahoy, Captain Jack Sparrow, isn't it? Last I checked, and whom do I have the pleasure of addressing? The name's Merida, and I hear you're quite the fractured fighter. Fighting fractured for only a short time, and already my reputation precedes me. Guilty as charged. Would you care to take a friendly wager on which of us shatters the most fractured? Captain Jack Sparrow is seldom friendly, especially when it comes to wagers. You're on. Well, I'm not playing as either of you, so it doesn't matter. Okay, introducing... I own her. This is why... Oh, I have to play as Merida? I would assume at this point they would just give you a Merida. I'm pretty sure that I received a free Merida when I played it originally as well. But yeah, it's just like, this is why it doesn't really work to restart us in the story, because like introducing Merida is like, I know who Merida is, I don't need to be reintroduced. But yeah, this is going to go really quick with Merida. I've got her very leveled up. But I suppose I probably can level her up more than I could before, now that this reset has taken place. Yeah, so the main point of the reset was that they wanted to change the ways you level up your character, which we've already kind of seen with the talents and with the actual like milestones. How would you rank them off? You can only rank them up after you've gotten them up to a certain level. I did not mean to skip that. I'm sorry. I'm fairly confident the dialogue is the same, though. I'm not gonna... No. Yes. How are you doing, Guardians? And Jack Sparrow? Mickey, it looks like they're digging up star crystals. Or it's a cover for the buried treasure they're... wait, I didn't see that. If it's the first thing, that's bad. If the second thing? No, it's probably not the second thing. Oh, or is that what they want us to think? Come on, Jack, we've got more fracture to fracture. So... I suppose we can bring in a big character too. Nope, not you. But yeah, we want to keep bringing in Mike. I need to make sure to plug in my laptop so it doesn't die. Hold on. As you can probably tell, I'm just a little annoyed that they are resetting our progress once again. Mostly just because they're like, you know, we're not going to do this again. We're confident in our state of the game, and we don't want to have to make you do this all over again. And here I am the third time doing these campaign levels. Now obviously this first time it was much more necessary because the actual state of the game was changing. The gameplay, at least from a certain standpoint, is different. You know, this part is virtually the same. It's a little better, but was pretty much what they already had. But like the way you went through the levels was a lot different, similar to a lot of other mobile games as well. You know, they just chose to go a different way, but it felt a little more necessary to actually switch the game up at that point. That's quite a punch you pack, Rapunzel. Thanks, I call it my flower power, a gift from the forest. It's full of magic here. That's probably why the fractured are digging it up. Ah, yes, I'm sure that's why, and not buried treasure. Boy, you pirates have a one-track mind. I remember that line, so it must be the same. We're just outside the Snuggly Duckling pub. Ah, is this a den of iniquity, full of brawling and carousing and adult beverages? Yes, and singing. That is my kind of establishment. I must stop in later and completely wreck it, in a fun way. Also, I think I just planned to do Chapter 1 today, so it shouldn't be too much longer. Most likely we won't get another character to showcase next time. I feel like I got fairly lucky in actually getting Mike today. So I might just play it through Chapter 2 and maybe I'll bring Mike back in or something. I'm not sure. But I do want to play it through at least Chapter 2, like I said, so that I can get the events, so that I can do the Jack Skellington event when it starts, which I think will probably be later the week of the update, which I'm not sure when this video will come out, but I'll probably try to get it out soon, since this is such a new update. Some of the models seem a little different as well, and definitely some of the like profile pictures, which is not a big change at all, but like it is noticeable that they changed those too, and I think for the better. Some things like Belle looked a little different there. Buzz Lightyear's eyes in his portrait, like I noticed when he showed up earlier, is a little different. I think genies might be a little different, and like Gaston and uh, Captain Hook are different. It's strange fighting Fractured that look like people you know. I imagine it's worse when you are those people. What do these things want? They're gathering star crystals, or as you seem to think, hunting for buried treasure. That's just what they're doing, but what do they want? As we know, since we played through the story, they're being controlled by Maleficent, and then Oogie Boogie, and then Hades, and so on and so forth. There's Jack, by the way, in case you forgot what he looked like. I suppose I could say my thoughts on the new characters and their designs, and since we already kind of saw Hades and Mickey, I can start with Jack, which is really fun. They kind of took, like, he's always the black and white stripe as his outfit, but this time around he's like a solid black, and he's got kind of like fuzzy, like a coat and pants and stuff, and then he's got a really cool hat, which I like a lot, and then I just looked at him not that long ago, but I cannot remember what like his weapon was. But I just remember liking his design, and I'm sure when we unlock him I'll talk about that a bit more. Speaking of, I guess I should talk about Mike's design. Obviously it's going off of what they did with Sulley, which is really cool. And they kind of have the same thing going with the Mickey Mouse characters, where they all kind of feel like they're taking different roles in an RPG setting. And like color coordinated and everything, which I think is cool. So I hope when more characters come out from series that we already have, that they are fitting in with the other characters. Although, to be fair, Aladdin and Genie have like nothing in common, so sometimes they might just not do that. But it would be fun if they try to do that as often as possible. So yeah, Mike and, well, I suppose I could bring in Sulley, so we can actually see them fight next to each other. So yeah, you can see very similar, at least color scheme. They have the robotic mech stuff going on. Sulley straight up has a door as a shield, and then Mike is made up of like the scream canisters. I guess Sulley also kind of has the canisters on him, but they're a little bit differently shaped. It just kind of looks like the design on his arms are kind of like that. But like Mike is like only made up of those canisters, so. And then Mike actually has kind of like a mech suit, or it's kind of just armor for Sulley, I guess. So it makes Mike a little bit more bulkier since his arms and legs are so skinny, and he's pretty short. And then it makes Sulley even more bulky than he already is, I suppose. I missed with that, that's okay. So yeah, I can lure that guy and make him attack me. Well, he died anyways, but still. I wonder if I'll ever make that come in handy for anything. Honestly, can't really see myself using it. It's getting a little laggy, but we're pretty close to being done here. Sorry for all the notifications, as usual. I am sure I don't want that. So, next one here. These Fractured are a bit on the tough side, but surely not too much for the great Captain Jack Sparrow. Who, me? No, I never give up. Not when there's treasure to be had. I admire your persistence, even for things that aren't real. There, did you... If you want to go back and pause it real quick, Buzz Lightyear's eyes are, like, definitely different. They're a little bit more intense, honestly. And some of, like, the portal that we just jumped out of look pretty different. So, yeah, they must have changed a lot of things as well. Maybe these backgrounds might be a little different, too. It's honestly hard to tell. But the game does look a bit more polished, I would say. The character models are not, like, shaded, or, like, the lighting is kind of weird on some of them. Like, Mike especially is just, like, one shade of green, which is kind of weird. But, like, Sulley's textures, I think, are pretty good. Like, sometimes it's hard to distinguish, like, the eye going into the green, because there isn't, like, a solid color in between. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to look at sometimes. So I hope in the future they'll continue to make some of the characters look a bit better, but I do think they, like, I see improvements, for sure. And I actually am very fond of them. I think they did a really good job with, like, the enemy improvements, especially. Here's another dig site. The Fractured are clearly hunting star crystals, not buried treasure. Yes, I suppose it's time to admit defeat on that particular theory. So I guess you'll be leaving then? I am curious to see how this ends. Yeah, we know. So, Maleficent fight here. Look up ahead, it's Maleficent. Well, if it isn't the interlopers who have been sabotaging my excavations. Your excavations. What do you want with the star crystals? Yes, I'll just reveal all of my plans, shall I? How about I give you this instead? It's a fracture, Maleficent. The answer to the question, how do you make Maleficent more unpleasant? You're going to regret saying that when she teams up with us later. I know I give this game a lot of hate, I feel like. Or maybe just criticisms, I guess. And maybe it's just because I've been with it since, you know, pretty early in the beginning. And I've seen a lot of its poor choices. But it's also made a lot of good choices, I think. So I need to keep that in mind too. So like I said, the changes to the enemy designs and overall textures, lighting, everything, I think looks a lot nicer. And it's definitely a much needed improvement from the earlier versions. Makes it look a lot more finalized. And obviously we're getting closer to an actual release. This game has a lot farther yet to go though. And I imagine they're going to want to release a few more characters before the game is actually released too. Because there actually aren't that many to unlock, and it would be fairly quickly to do it. And it seems as though with Jack Sparrow in particular now, that they're going to be trying to experiment with different ways to unlock characters. Since a lot of them are just in the crystals itself. Minnie was one of those where it was just, you know, try to unlock her. Also, I need to look into if they are making Elsa available yet. I didn't actually look into that. But like, Jack is exclusive to the, or at least the time around the event. I'm still not entirely sure how we unlock him, but yeah, we finished chapter 1 here. All 10 stages, we got all 3 stars. That was a fight to write home about. Hey, where did Maleficent go? The real one? She must have scarpered off. Knows when she's met her match, I suppose. We've driven the Fractured out of my forest, so I'll say, job well done. They probably fled elsewhere. If we hurry, we can catch them. What are we waiting for? You want to go, even though there's no treasure? Rapunzel, sometimes the best reward is revenge. That is a weird message to indicate, but okay. So that's a nice little animation for actually, you know, getting all 3 stars. So we've unlocked chapter 2. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, okay. So this came up. We get a little tease for Jack Sparrow specifically. Even though he's already in the game. So yeah, now that we completed chapter 1, all this stuff is kind of coming back to normal. My crystal and everything is here. I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but they had a bunch of different stuff for upgrading talents in particular, and they got rid of like all of them, which is why I was so easily able to upgrade Mike, which I was not used to. So I want to just go in here and see if it looks generally the same, because we have chapter 2 all up to chapter 6. So it looks like all the motifs are the same. Expert is still here, which I never actually did in the original game. Wait, I think I might have done chapter 1 of it. I can't remember. But dungeon events, dailies are all here. The tower is even here. But I have to kind of do stuff to unlock them. I think I get like compensation or something. I don't know if they just gave it to us or if it'll be in this here. Whoa. Is this my compensation or is this them just thanking me? Anyways, that's a very nice gift. I'll definitely take that. And this too, which is just a bunch of more nice stuff, which is always really nice. And there's never going to be someone who doesn't appreciate that. And then as we saw, Jack Skellington is coming. So yeah, we need to complete chapter 2 normal to unlock the event content, so I will be doing that. Oh, I can claim something here. Now what's the last thing? Just one more of these glowing crystals. I kind of just am curious what these crystals are, and then I will wrap up. I might not spend them, but I am just interested. And also, I would like to show you guys if Elsa is available in another way, so I will look. You can scroll through here and see if she's on this list, but I scrolled through earlier and I don't remember seeing her. It doesn't look like it. Here's a bunch of offers of stuff. And the bazaar I just unlocked, I guess, so we can get my stuff here. And then, oh, I can show you the Stardust store as well, which was the only way to get many before, and I think it still is. So you can see it's based on the type, or the, what is it called? The role that the character has. So Minnie is obviously a melee character, so she has the red ones. It's still the most expensive one to buy, and I don't have a lot of them. But as we continue to open up crystals, we'll continue to get more. And it looks like literally every character who is in the crystals is also in here, with the addition of Minnie. Unless she's in the crystals, and I missed that too. But I was kind of looking, and I feel like I would have saw her. Final thing was... What is new? Oh, I guess I can... We do get some nice crystals from those too. Elsa, does it say there's any way? It doesn't look like it. So, that's what it says for both Mickey and Hades as well. Final thing. Were any of these crystals interesting in any way? Some of them just like opened up for me, but we've seen them before. And I'm not going to buy those, so you can stop asking. What were those, the glowing, that's what they were. So these are just normal crystals, basically. So yeah, pretty nice. That's actually in order of the character's release, which is a little bit more easy to understand. Anyways, next time will be Chapter 2. Maybe we'll unlock Frank. I honestly doubt it, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. I'll see you then.